Hi everyone, welcome to Dustin the Blind Minnesotan. Today I want to talk about how living in downtown Minneapolis as a visually impaired man went. Where did I get my groceries? Where did I buy my furniture? Where did I used to hang out? So you guys can kind of know if you move to downtown Minneapolis as a visually impaired man, what you guys can do. When I was looking at apartments in downtown Minneapolis, it was very hard to know which ones I wanted because each apartment has their own features and each apartment has their own pros and cons. And when I moved downtown Minneapolis, I was transferring from the Nordstrom Rack of Maple Grove to the Nordstrom Rack of downtown Minneapolis, right on Nicollet Mall in the IDS Tower. /IDS Center, whatever kind of name you want to call it, has both. And so I chose LaSalle Apartments that are attached to LaSalle Plaza because I wanted to do the Skyway, take the Skyway to work. And I chose it because my rent in downtown Minneapolis in LaSalle Apartments were $9.50 a month for the unit. And that time I was working full time so I could afford it. But if you're a person with disabilities and you have a roommate, $9.50 rent is cheap because you guys can split it and you guys would be paying like $3.50 per person. Yeah, it sucks there'll be two of you guys living in the studio. But at least with the two of you guys living in the studio, you guys would be able to afford it. And then half of your Social Security would be going towards rent because you have a buddy to split it. And the other half of both your Social Securities can go towards groceries and other necessities. So I liked LaSalle Apartments because it was all along the Skyway. I could walk to all the restaurants in the Skyway. I could walk to all the shops in the Skyway. And I could, and it was also between Nicollet Avenue / Nicollet Mall and Hennepin. Because Hennepin has all the party scenes, all the clubs, and all that stuff. And Nicollet Mall / Nicollet Avenue has all the shopping. So, and plus, during from 6:30 a.m. to 7:30 p.m., the Skyways were open, Monday through Friday. The sucky things about the Skyways are they're closed during the weekends, and it's so frustrating. So, when I originally moved to downtown, I was full-time employee, and I was going from the Nordstrom Rack in Maple Grove to the Nordstrom Rack in downtown Minneapolis. But by the time I finally moved down there, the bigwigs from Chicago closed down the Nordstrom Rack in downtown. So that's when I got the job at the Mall of America as guest services, selling Nickelodeon Universe tickets, rental strollers, rental shopping carts, and rental wheelchairs to people so I could pay my rent. But be lucky what Mall of America was paying me. I actually could afford to live in downtown in the LaSalle Apartments. It was tight. My budget was always tight, but I could do it by myself because I was working full time and I was bringing home between $1,200 and $1,500. So I had to work every single day and I had to work like a dog, but I was able to afford it. And if you're on Social Security and if you get a studio apartment and you share it with someone, it'll make it even more affordable, and then you can use your leftover Social Security check to actually live off. And I liked living in the LaSalle Apartments because I could get to any first ring suburb I wanted in a half an hour bus ride. So I could go to the big shopping malls in Edina. I can go to the shopping malls in St. Louis Park. I can go to the shopping malls in Brooklyn Center. I can get to shopping malls in New Hope, Crystal, Robbinsdale, all within a half an hour bus ride there and a half an hour bus ride home. So I could go to all the first ring suburbs and shop in their major shopping malls in a half an hour and then go home. And the good thing is no matter where you are in the city of Minneapolis or no matter what first ring suburb you're in of Minneapolis, all the buses all the buses go to downtown Minneapolis. So it was really nice living there. So now in this video, I'm going to be showing you guys where I grocery shopped and stuff. So, and remember, each disabled person has a different experience based on where they live in Minnesota. Because if you're a disabled person that lives in St. Paul, you're going to have a different experience than me who lives in Minneapolis. So before you move into Minneapolis, you might want to reach out to other disabled people out there and ask them how their experience is living in downtown St. Paul and compare both of our information. So here it is, and what pulled me to this building is the cheap rents, and then right here there is a parking ramp, because when you live in downtown Minneapolis or downtown St. Paul, the rules probably still apply there because they're both major cities. If you're disabled and you don't have a car, and all of the family who loves you and cares about you do have a car, you want to make sure that you have an apartment building next to a parking ramp. So I like the LaSalle apartments because it was on Skyway, had washer and dryer in the units, it was affordable, and it had this 910 LaSalle Avenue parking ramp. So my family who does love me, they can come on the weekends, park in the parking ramp next to my apartment and hang out with me. And be lucky. Okay, so the funny part in the parking ramps in downtown Minneapolis is Monday through Friday, you actually pay more for parking because of the demand of office workers. Monday through Friday, you normally pay more for parking. And Saturday and Sunday, a lot of the parking ramp owners give you a discount because there's less demand on those days. The only days on the weekends where parking actually goes up is when there's an event happening in downtown. But be lucky, in the winter, there's not a lot of events happening in downtown. So on Saturdays and Sundays, so parking stays cheap. But in the summer, when there's baseball, football, all that stuff on the weekends, that's when parking actually becomes more expensive during the weekend. But 95% of the year, parking in the ramps Saturdays and Sundays is actually really cheap. So I also liked it because I had a parking ramp here. And also, right here, there's Target's headquarters. So Target's headquarters is kind of broken up into like 3 buildings. So like, there's some over here, some of Target's headquarters over here, some of them's over here. So Target's headquarters is kind of broken up into 3 major buildings. So it's not all like in one building. But this Target store is Target's, like, on Nicollet Mall here, it's like Target's main store. And this was the store because I lived right next to it. When I was looking out my window here, my window is right in this corner, I could see the main store of Target's roof. And I could see how long the line was at the store. And this Target on Nicollet Mall here is the most important Target of all of Minneapolis, because all the city buses from the first ring suburbs and all the city buses from every neighborhood in Minneapolis, literally here's Nicollet Mall, will literally take you to this Target. So no matter what neighborhood you live in Minneapolis, there's a bus that'll take you to Nicollet Mall where you can get off and shop at this Target. And this Target, this is where I got my microwave, this is where I got my vacuum cleaner. This Target here at Nicollet Mall is where I got half my stuff, because I could buy it, leave the store, walk down 9th here, walk right into my place, unload the stuff, walk back down 9th Street, go to Target, pick up more stuff, and then walk right back home. So Target was awfully good to buy my non-food items. I'm going to say the only negative about this Target is that the food items go quick. So because when the store opens already, there's a line going like around the block already. So when this Target opens, there's a line like going around this block already and about right here. It's a big line because this Target's so easy to get to. Everyone kind of wants to go shopping before work or shopping before they head to work. And then also this Target's it's a really small Target because this Target, it's not a super Target. This Target is one of the original regular Targets. So they do sell food at this Target, but they mostly focus on furniture, household stuff. So this Target, so the little food they do sell at this store, right when the store opens, it'd be one big rush to get in. All the strawberries get cleared out, all the blueberries get cleared out, all the bananas get cleared out. And then, from like store opening until like 3 o'clock, the shelves, the produce and all are like the vegetables and stuff are all gone. And then, after around 3 or 4, when the night shift comes, they restock them. And then, from like 3 to 4 until like 8 o'clock, they're just restocking. And then in the morning, so they can deal with that rush. And the reason why a lot of this Target's really busy because a lot of the mom and pop grocery stores in South and North Minneapolis do not carry fresh vegetables. Because a lot of the mom and pop grocery stores in South Minneapolis, they sell canned tomatoes, can this, can that, can this, can that, can this, can that. And the reason why they sell a lot of things in cans so they don't expire. So in Minneapolis, South and North Minneapolis, it's sometimes really hard to get access to fresh like apples, tomatoes, strawberries. And this Target on Nicollet Mall is easy to get to if you live in Minneapolis, and it sells the foods that a lot of the mom and pop grocery stores don't sell that are healthy. So I never went to this Target to really buy food because they didn't have a lot of choices. And by the time I got to it, it was always cleared out because I don't want to be in line by 10 a.m. like for Target. Nope, so this Target in Nicollet Mall, I just only went there to buy furniture, shampoo bottles, cleaning supplies, non-food items, and I loved it. And then the good thing is sometimes when I walk back home in my apartment, I realize, oh my God, I forgot something. So then I can open up the Target app, type in what I needed, and by the time I put my groceries away, the curbside delivery order will be ready. So then I just leave my apartment, go back to Target, go up to the second floor, pick it up, and then walk back home. So because when I'm unloading my groceries, the curbside pickup people are picking up what I forgot. And then, so when I hear ding, I walk back, go back to Target. Downtown, that's one thing I miss about downtown is the convenience of that. And then, here is my favorite, Nicollet Mall. In Nicollet Mall, you cannot drive down. Nicollet Mall, you can only take the bus down or bike down or skateboard down. I really liked Nicollet Mall. And then this is, see how there's all these big, oh yeah, this is IDS. This is where I've been working if Nordstrom Rack did not close, and I would take the Skyway through here. And there's not really, but the IDS does have a really beautiful entry. They don't have a lot. They do have some restaurants, but it's not like they're like sit down restaurants. They're not like you go in, you can easily grab it and walk out. They're more sit down restaurants because, and this is the Walgreens I used to go to. So a lot of the times, if I was sick or I needed medicine, I'd walk down Nicollet Mall here and I would stop at this Walgreens. This Walgreens is too cool because it's a 2-level Walgreens. So on the bottom floor, it's all the medicine stuff. And on the top floor is all the snack stuff. So I liked how, because the reason why the snacks and all that were on the second level is because all the people that worked in the Skyway, they can take the Skyway, go into the top level, buy their snacks, go to the cash registers on the top level, pay for them, and then go back in the Skyway and head back towards work. And the medicine part was on the bottom because most of the people who only go to the medicine part are people who like live in the area. So the way they did it was awesome. And this is my favorite place to like get healthy drinks on Nicollet Mall. It's called Nicollet Avenue. It's called Planet Smoothie. And I would go here to get my healthy drinks. Like, sometimes when you wake up and you're lazy and you don't want to cook anything, I would walk to here on Nicollet Mall / Nicollet Avenue, and I would go to this place and get they sell, they're called meal replacement drinks. So you go there and you get peanut butter, cookie dough, whatever, and this is supposed to replace one of your meals. And they're like getting a large is only like $10, but it's like a really, really fulfilling drink. It's to me it was worth the $10. And this is where Marshall's used to be when I originally was living down there. So I'm going to say I really liked living in downtown until some of the businesses started closing. And then I'm like, oh, living down here kind of sucks. And then see these all used to be stores here. All these used to be stores. And now this is the train. This is the train I used to take to Mall of America. It's called the Blue Line train. And DGX here. DGX is pretty much a fancy name for Dollar General. DGX is Dollar General Small. And the part that pisses me off is the city of Minneapolis, when they approved this plan, they were so stuck. They approved this plan before COVID. They were so stuck up that they made Dollar General change their name to DGX just to be approved by the city. And to me, this still pisses me off because DGX should be really called Dollar General Small. But and I liked this store because sometimes when Target was out of product, like when they're out of milk or they were out of plastic plates or when they were out of stuff, I could walk to Dollar General Small, that'd be DGX, and I could find it there. And then DGX sold food that Target did not. Like if I wanted like blueberry soda, I could get it from DGX, and I couldn't ever find it at Target. I could never ever find it at Target. And then down here, there's a bunch of apartments and stuff. And let me make sure this is the right building. Yep, it's the library here. This is the Minneapolis Central Library. This is where I used to, when I first moved to downtown Minneapolis, I didn't have a printer and I didn't have internet because I couldn't afford it. So I would used to walk down Hennepin and Nicollet Mall to go down to the Minneapolis Central Library to print stuff. So I would go down here, print stuff, and use the Wi-Fi. But eventually, after I got more money saved up because I was working full time, I ended up being able to get Wi-Fi in my apartment, and I was able to get internet in my apartment. Sorry, Wi-Fi and internet, same thing. And I was able to get a printer in my apartment. I bought a like $400 printer, and it's an inkjet. It's like an inkjet printer where it comes it's like a really high inkjet printer that the ink comes in like tubes, and you have to pour the tubes in the machine. And then, so it's a very high-end printer because I was always sick of, okay, it's 9 o'clock at night, I need to print something. I have to save it on the flash drive, and then I have to go tomorrow before work to go to the library to print it. So now, that's when I bought my own printer. But this library, if like you don't have money for internet or slash Wi-Fi or a printer, the Minneapolis Central Library is where you want to go. And I love this library, but I'm just gonna give you a hint. There's a lot of homeless people who like to live at the Minneapolis Central Library because there's nowhere for them to go. If you go on the first floor, you're gonna get a lot of homeless. The second floor, you're gonna get a lot of homeless. The third and the fourth floor is actually where you can go and not run into homeless people because a lot of homeless people, they don't want to go to the third or fourth floor because it's not as comfortable up there. So. And then, there's a lot of apartments. There's a lot of apartments. There's a lot of greenery over here. So now let's kind of get you into the interesting part of the story. Let me go back here because I'm not used to seeing it from the colorful view. See over here's Target. So a lot of times a lot of people in my building that live with me in the LaSalle apartments, they went to St. Thomas because they were young people like me and they were broke, they're barely getting by. If they were not working, they went to St. Thomas because St. Thomas is this major school right next to my apartment. And then a lot of people who were low income in my apartment, they would get their service from Boost Mobile and and all that stuff. And then so when your family comes and sees you, there's a bunch of hotels down here and all that stuff because it's downtown Minneapolis. Be lucky I never really had anyone who needed to stay at a hotel. So, and I walked down this LaBelle Avenue a bunch of times. It's a very pretty view, and you get to see apartments and all that stuff. It's a very good view, and right here is Nicollet Avenue, and sometimes I would also walk down Nicollet Avenue, and then I would go, and over here's a bunch of apartments, and I would go over Highway 94, and down here is the Whittier neighborhood, and then I would walk down here, eat at some of the restaurants down here in the Whittier neighborhood and stuff. I came to South Minneapolis a lot, and I would like walk down here on this road here, look at businesses and stuff. This is Nicollet. I would walk down Nicollet and look at businesses and stuff. And then I would stop by this McDonald's and I would sometimes stop at these restaurants down here. Yes, when I lived in downtown, I did not spend a lot of time in downtown. And I would just keep walking down here and looking at these apartments, or keep walking down Nicollet here, going to all these restaurants. I'm gonna say I loved hanging out a lot of time in downtown Minneapolis. And this is right here is a medical clinic, and so I would walk down South Minneapolis a lot. And this right here is the old Kmart that they knocked down. And then right here is Lake Street. So then right here I would turn around and I would walk back home. And eat and this is a really good restaurant that's down there is Eat Street Crossing. And now let's get back to downtown so I can continue the story. Okay, now let's type in Lunds and Barley's downtown Minneapolis so you can see where I did my grocery shopping. Lunds and there go, Hennepin Avenue. So this Lunds and Barley's here is where I used to do my grocery shopping. So I would leave my apartment. Let me see. Oh, right here. And then I would go to Hennepin Avenue and I would walk down Hennepin Avenue. At this point, I bought a shopping cart because when you're living in downtown Minneapolis, when you live in downtown Minneapolis, you want to have a shopping cart because a shopping cart will make your life so much easier when like you're grocery shopping because you don't have to walk so far with your groceries because sometimes you're walking 10 to 15 minutes just to get to a grocery store. And then if you buy a lot of food, you're walking like a scarecrow trying to balance for 15 to 16 bags. So with my shopping cart I could go to this Lunds and Barley's off Hennepin Avenue, and I could put when I'm shopping, I can load my groceries into the cart. Then I would go to a checkout person. They would scan my groceries, and then I would reload it back into my shopping cart. My friend Cheryl, she needed a shopping cart, and the shopping cart I originally had in downtown was damaged because of me doing all my grocery shopping because I was always pushing it to the limit. So I end up giving my friend Cheryl, who needed it more than me, my old shopping cart. And when I needed a new one, I bought myself a new one. And this is where I would get my groceries. It's right on Hennepin Avenue. This Lunds and Barley's is not a big store. This Lunds and Barley's is pretty small because most Lunds and Barley's are big as big as a Walmart or a Target, like the ones you find in the suburbs. But in downtown Minneapolis, there's not a lot of space. So I would come to this Lunds and Barley's, and I would do a lot of my grocery shopping here. And I would get a lot of my food here and all that stuff, like from out of the deli. And then this is Lori Park. And then, I would, when I wanted, on my days off in the Mall of America and stuff, when I wanted a break, I would walk down Nicollet Mall / Nicollet Avenue and then cut over this way, or walk down Hennepin Avenue and cut over this way. And I would go to Lori Park. And I really liked Lori Park. The only advice I would give you is not to bring food with you to Lori Park because the squirrels at Lori Park will attack you for your food. Because the squirrels in Lori Park are so aggressive, and the geese and the animals there, because they're used to all the old people feeding them. So, look at there's a picture I took of the park. This day, guys, it was very icy. So, it was cold. I had my day off in Mall America. I worked a week straight. It's finally my day off. I was working 8 hours days for a week straight. And I just want to go for a walk. But that winter, the snow was up to my knees. You know how bad it snowed. So the city of Minneapolis was not able to plow like the sidewalks the best because it was hard just to keep up. So what happens is I wanted a break. I wanted to see nature. So I ended up going down to the park and finding this. And I'm like, no, I just spent 10 to 15 minutes walking here. I'm going to walk this park. So then, I walked it. I took a picture and I had to post it because I knew my parents wouldn't believe me because when you picture downtown Minneapolis, you pictured like plowed everything. See, this is a different person who did the photo. And these birds here, they get aggressive anytime you bring. I was eating chicken in the park, and the geese wanted to eat chicken. And this is a big church that's next to the park. And this is a view of downtown Minneapolis I miss. Is walking around Lori Park and just seeing everything and seeing. Oh, look! I did this one. Haha! That's why does that picture look so familiar? When I was living in downtown, I took a lot of pictures and uploaded to Google Maps because I felt like all the pictures sucked. See right that black building, that blue building with the black lid right there? On top, that's the IDS. And all these right here are apartments. This white apartment right here, I call it the Soviet building because there's a lot of people who fled that fled Russia that live in that building. Because it's a low-income building, and after one Russian moves in with their family, they tell their friend, and suddenly 10 or 20 people are living there. I honestly don't care as long as they're paying their rent and they're not doing harm. These squirrels are evil. If you have food, they'll come up to you and try to take it to you, and I don't get it. Why do people keep feeding them? You don't encourage squirrels to come get food from you. That's my opinion, but. And then, let me see what direction it is. Let me just type it in here so then I don't have to look for it. Minneapolis College. Well, I can't spell today. Sorry, guys. Here it is. I used to walk past this all the time. Minneapolis College is actually like a very important place in downtown Minneapolis because it helps all these minimum wage people who are working at the bar or at the grocery store or whatever in the city get into the trades. So then they can become construction workers, welders, pipe fitters, and actually get good money. So then they can actually buy a car, and then they could drive out to the suburbs, do their good high quality work in the trades, and then drive back to downtown and live a comfortable life. Let me type in Whole Foods because that's another grocery store I used to shop at. I'll have right here because there's not that many Whole Foods. And then this is called the North Loop neighborhood, and this is where all the rich people live in downtown Minneapolis. If you live in downtown Minneapolis, you don't live in this neighborhood, you're poor, according to Minneapolis standards. So, I would, walk down I would walk down Hennepin Avenue or walk down Nicollet Mall, and I would join Washington Avenue and I would go to Whole Foods. And Whole Foods has, the reason why I would walk all the way to Whole Foods is because with my shopping cart, because Whole Foods sells food that Target and Lunds and Barley's doesn't sell. So Whole Foods is even a bigger grocery store than Lunds and Barley's and Target. So they have more food choices for you to choose from. And once in a while, I'll still take the bus from Columbia Heights to downtown, and I still hang out at this Whole Foods. I love Whole Foods. Some parts of Whole Foods I find are overpriced, but I love Whole Foods. I still do. And then sometimes I would go to the south part of downtown, and I would go to Trader Joe's. I'll have right here, Washington. Be lucky there's not many Trader Joe's either. And down by US Bank, because I lived in the north part of downtown, and this is the south part of downtown. Getting from the north part of downtown where I lived to the south part of downtown was like a good 30-minute walk. So it was a walk. And the good thing about Trader Joe's is it's along all these wealthy people apartments that are along the Mississippi River. So North Loop is expensive because it has high-end stuff. So North Loop is expensive because you have high-end stores, high-end restaurants, the high-end lifestyle. This Mill District area here along Washington Avenue and along Mississippi River, it's expensive because you get the view of the river. And the more higher up you go in these apartment buildings, you have to pay more because you're getting a better view of the Mississippi River. Remember, guys, in downtown Minneapolis, any picture of nature or any view of nature is considered premium views. And for premium views, that means you have to pay premium price. So I would go to, when I lived in downtown, I would go to Trader Joe's for my treats. So I go to Trader Joe's for the bread, the cookies, my treats, and my ice cream, because Trader Joe's sold desserts and better desserts than Whole Foods, Target, and Lunds and Barley's. Trader Joe's, in my opinion, sells the best ice cream and the best banana bread in downtown Minneapolis, as a big corporate chain. So I loved going to Trader Joe's for, for my snacks. And then let me type in the family store, Northeast. The, this is how I found it. Oh, sorry. Aha, here it is. So then the north, let me see. And then the north loop of Minneapolis, the high-end part of Minneapolis, has this place called the Salvation Army Family Store and Donation Center. And I used to walk from my apartment pretty much over here, and I would walk underneath this freeway because there was a pathway underneath, and I would walk through this warehouse district neighborhood / North Loop, go underneath this bridge, and I would go to this store. And the Salvation Army Family Store is this in downtown Minneapolis. This place is not a regular Salvation Army Family Store. So this store has apartments above it, a thrift store below it, and a regular store in the middle, and a donation store next to it. And so the apartments above the store are made to house disabled people and homeless people who are running the regular store and the discount store and the other store below, and they run the drop-off center. So this place is kind of hard for me to describe because it employs the homeless who live above it. So when I was buying things for my apartment, when I was donating things that I no longer need, because my mom gave me a bunch of stuff when she moved to Florida that I couldn't fit in my studio apartment, so I had to donate it. So I donated here in the North Loop / the Warehouse District neighborhood because it's a high income neighborhood, and this family store, or Salvation Army Family Store, whatever you want to call it, actually puts the people living above it to work and helps them introduce them to society. So this is not like a regular family store that you can find out in the suburbs. So when I live in Columbia Heights, I technically have a family store about a mile north of me that I can get to the bus. It's way quicker for me to get to, but sometimes I take a longer bus ride and I come to this one because this one is special. The one up by my house, they don't house homeless people above the store. They don't put homeless people to work at the store. So they just hire people from off the street to run the store. So this one is very, very different. And I bought my toaster here. I bought some of my pans from here. I bought some of my totes from here. Let me see. I bought so many stuff from this store when I lived in downtown. It's ridiculous. I used to be addicted to this store. This donation center is, you walk up to the door, the garage door, you drive up to the garage door, it opens, you drive in, and people come out and help you unload your car. And this is a picture of the regular store. So the normal store on the first level. See how they just have donated goods and all that stuff. They have see how they have furniture and then downstairs it doesn't work this well. Downstairs they have big buckets, so whatever they can't sell upstairs, they bring downstairs and they pour them into these big buckets. And then they sell them at a discount price. Oh, see, this is me. See, that's my picture. So this is my shopping cart. You can see it right here. And see how all the appliances they have here? They have like toasters, plates, coffee makers. So that's at the normal store. Downstairs, it's the discount store. Okay. No, that's upstairs. Let's see. See how like they have. See, I like the hard part is when you don't have a car, and you see very good furniture like this, and you can't bring it home. It makes you very sad. I'm like, no. And the funny part is, the time that you bring someone with a car, you don't find anything good. But the time where you don't have access to a car, that's when like you find the good stuff. See how they sell bikes and whatever. Okay. Yeah, I really liked the store. So, and the store in the basement is way cheaper. Okay, let's get out of here. And now let's look for the tool store I used to go to. Because Target, doesn't sell a lot of tools when you live in downtown. So let's see. Tool stores in South Minneapolis. Stores on Nicollet Avenue. There you go. Sorry, I'm not good at spelling. There we go. Nope, not that one, not that one, not the Home Depot, not that low. Right here. So this is where I used to get. Okay, let me see. Now let me go back to the nicer screen. Now this is where I used to get all my tools. And it's on right here on Nicollet Avenue. I keep on calling Nicollet Mall, but it's technically now Nicollet Avenue. And when I had things I needed wrong with my chairs, or because I have a chair where like you have to use a nut like tightener to actually tighten the things that support the chair. So I used to go to this place, Flat Loans Hardware and Garden in South Central Minneapolis, right on Nicollet Mall, to go get my tools, because downtown, technically, if you go on down Nicollet Mall all the way down to Richfield, you can actually get a real Menards or a real Home Depot. But when I need something small, I'm not going to take a 45-minute bus ride down Nicollet Mall to get to a Home Depot or Menards, when my ma and pa, hardware store that's only a 10-minute bus ride or a 30-minute walk has the tool. So sometimes I would just walk here, or sometimes I would take the bus here, and then it's not the, I'm gonna say this place is not gonna win like a medal I'm gonna be honest, based on the picture, like it's not gonna win like the best. See how you can buy shovels and stuff? It's not gonna win like the best hardware store of the world. This is where I bought my second shopping cart. After my first one started failing on me because I kept on using it so much, and I then gave it to Cheryl, um, that's when I came here and I bought my second one. So my second shopping cart came from here. And then when I bought it, the guys, I call it my Walmart cart now. The guys physically assembled it and then made my life easier. And then now this market here, this grocery store, I've been in here multiple times. When you walk into it, it feels weird, this AM food market, because half the market sells clothes because the guy makes his own clothing and he sells his own brand. So half the store is just clothing, and then the rest of the store is just snacks. So he kind of tricks you to come into to his store by selling by saying, "Hey, look at we sell food," but really they do sell food, but they also sell like clothing and all that stuff. But I'm see up there. You see the purses and stuff. But I'm gonna tell you, I was very like with these mom and pop businesses that they have. Oh, see, there's their shoes they sell. So for a mom and pop business, I was very impressed with how good the store was because South Minneapolis, it's not the most profitable area of the whole state of Minnesota, and yep, this is how it looks like. See when like you're walking down Nicollet Avenue / Nicollet Mall, see what you see, and right here is Highway 94. Right here is a bridge. I'll take you into downtown. So I didn't had to go far, and I discovered this I discovered this place by talking to see how there's prison bars here so people can't break in the store. Um, when I discovered this place from a homeless lady. My homeless lady told me about it. And now let's find the Goody Goody grocer because I used to go there. That's on Nicollet too. So it'd just be easier going Goody. Is it Goody Goody grocer? Let's see. You guys are probably laughing at me. No, I think it's called Good Grocer. No, I'm gonna say. Oh, see, I'm still used to using my phone. I don't really know how to spell anymore. Okay. Because sometimes it pops up as a grocery store, and sometimes it does not. Eastville. See this East Side food co-op. I actually really like that store. The Wedge I haven't been to yet. Like the 8th Street Market I have been to. Sam's Market I have been to. Minneapolis Market I have been to. Good Grocer. Here we go. The Minneapolis Market I wasn't really impressed with, but it's still a good market. But this is supposed this is supposed to be about my everyday life. Not like the okay, Good Grocer. Here you go. That's why I was down the wrong street. Okay, so this is where I saw it. Never mind. It's not down Nicollet. Sorry, guys. Let me see. Yep, it is. Yeah, it is. Yeah, it is. And it's just way down further because we were way up here. It's just way down here. Okay. And now this place down here, because this part of Minneapolis does not really have any big grocery stores. Some parts of Minneapolis do not have. They're in a food desert. So, and this is one of the mom and pop grocery stores that when I was on my walks going down Nicollet Avenue, I would go to get soda or water because it was so during the summer when you're walking down Nicollet Avenue, all that concrete around you makes everything so hot. So whatever the temperature is in the state of Minnesota, add 20 plus degrees in Minneapolis because of all the concrete that's blocking the sun. So I would like when I'm used to walking because my mom and my stepdad are walkers, but I used to get more tired walking in downtown than I do in the suburbs because in the suburbs there's green spaces, there's lawns, and there's not bazillions of things bouncing the heat around and cooking you. So I used to like when I used to walk down Nicollet Avenue, I I used to stop in this place and I used to get myself soda and a little snack or water and a little snack. This place, Good Grocer, I used to call it Goody Grocer in my head. Um, this place is a good place for people with disabilities to do their grocery shopping. It it's a very good grocery store, and I was very impressed with it. Okay, now let's see. Now up here, this was my laundromat. I used to walk here. I used to Minneapolis Convention Center's here. So I lived in downtown West. So for me, I could just cut through the Minneapolis Convention Center and end up down here. So my washer and dryer in my apartment in downtown Minneapolis was not big. So I could do my personal laundry, like the clothes I'm wearing kind of laundry, but I could never do my bedding. I could never do my bedding. But before my parents came or my aunts came or my siblings came, I would put my sheets and all that into and blankets into my shopping cart and I would bus or I would walk here. And um and I would do my laundry here. It was like $5 a load. And when you go there, you can buy like a little card. And with that card, it lets you do, instead of you paying for coin for everything, you can scan the card and it makes your laundry so much easier. Because see this machine right here? So what happens is you buy a little card here. You put your phone card, not your phone, but your debit card or your Apple Pay against this machine, and then it puts it on a card. My card looks way better than this. I still have my card. It looks way better than this. And then what happens is so then you don't have to use the change. These change machines last time I was there were working. And then what happens is then you can go up to the machine and slice it through the reader instead of you using change. So like you pretty much, and these tables are very nice because when I was folding my blankets and stuff, I really like these tables. And this place also offers free Wi-Fi. It's not in the prettiest neighborhood, I'm gonna admit it. So if you're a suburb person and you're looking at this, you're probably screaming in your head about because to you it's just different. And then they have a couple apartment buildings around here. I I actually don't mind. I actually didn't mind spending time at the laundromat. See, see, I didn't do like these guys did. I actually bought like a lining for my grocery cart. My utility cart slash grocery cart has a lining you can pay extra for. So what I did is I paid extra for the lining and I used that for my laundry. So I'd put my laundry in my shopping cart with my lining in it. Then I'll take it to the laundromat, do my laundry, and then I'll load it back in my shopping cart. And my lining on my shopping cart would protect my clean clothes. But this would also work. See how this lady has a shopping cart here? So mine looks exactly like this, but the difference is I paid more money and I put lining in my cart. My lining is a removable kind because you can buy lining for your cart that you tie it on or like you super glue one on and it doesn't come out. Mine is just velcroed in so I can remove mine, and I did that so I can wash my lining out. And then let me think. Okay, and then let me zoom in here. I used to go to this Wendy's when I was waiting for my laundry because I knew because you know that when like you're the biggest tallest guy in the neighborhood and no one can fit in your clothes, no one's not going to steal your clothes. And then sometimes I was waiting for my laundry, I would go into this Clinton Market here. It's a Somalian grocery store, so it doesn't. They do sell American food. Most Somalian grocery stores do sell like American food, but they also sell like some. If they have some, they'll sell it. But the issue is like with a lot of mom and pop grocery stores, sometimes they don't have it, so they have to like sell whatever they can find. And a lot of times the mom and you know why this ATM is here is for because a lot of businesses in South Minneapolis do not take debit card. Or if they do, they charge you more to use it because a lot of the businesses in South Minneapolis they don't like paying the card fees. So sometimes when I would go shopping, there will be literally signs saying, "Hey, if you use card, you're paying $2 extra or $3 extra on your bill because we are not accepting the credit card fees." So then they had ATMs where people can pay with cash instead. But what I found out was it's actually more expensive paying to withdraw your money from the ATM than it is paying the card fee. So I just ended up paying the card fee because it was cheaper than you withdrawing your money from an ATM. Because South Minneapolis, guys, if you guys ever go to South Minneapolis, you want to bring cash with you because a lot of businesses see how they have prison bars here. It's because prison bars are called cheap security. And this parking lot, you guys, would get full. It would get so full that people would have to park on the side of the road to do their laundry. And these apartments right here, these brick ones, I call them commie blocks because they're just plain brick apartments with no decoration on them. But the good thing about commie blocks are they make housing affordable. Here's the Wendy's. Trust me, guys, I love Wendy's. So being this close to Wendy's or doing my laundry was not a complaint. Trust me, it was not a complaint. And then over here should be my Social Security office. Okay, let me just type it in. I'm so used to on my iPhone where I can just tell Siri to type it. Also, there you go. Here you go. And now this is South Central Minneapolis. This was let me go back. Now this is when I lived in downtown, this was my Social Security office. And okay, I'm going to say I didn't like going to Social Security office to do the paperwork. That's not the reason why I'm saying I loved the Social Security office. I'm not a weirdo, people. I didn't like going to the Social Security office for the Social Security office. The days that I had to do Social Security paperwork when I wasn't working at the Mall of America, I would come to the Social Security office, do my paperwork, and then I would spend time in this neighborhood around the Social Security office. Because this neighborhood that's around the Social Security office is very interesting. This this Veltura village. So th- there's a subway. Every good area needs a subway. I came here for Great Dragon. I used to go to this Great Dragon because in downtown Minneapolis, we didn't really have any affordable Chinese. Like the only Chinese we really had, they were in the Skyway, they were limited hours, they were super expensive. So I would come down here to Great Dragon and I would come down here. It's next after when I was done doing my Social Security paperwork, and I would get cheap, fatty Chinese food, and I had no regrets. At least I didn't have no regrets. And I never had golden fingers, but one day I was leaving this place, the Great Dragon restaurant, and there was a homeless guy sitting outside, and he told me that this golden fingers place was good. And I never really went because I never had time to go. But you mean, but a lot of people liked it. And this Jubba's pharmacy is not really a whole pharmacy. So when you walk in, the left side of the store sells used electronics and used cell phones, and the right half is the pharmacy. So this pharmacy here, it's like 3 stores in one store. You can buy used cell phones, you can buy used computers, you could buy used tablets, and you can buy your pills. Because this neighborhood here doesn't have a CVS or Walgreens, so it had its own store. A neighborhood's interesting, you guys, when they don't have a Walgreens or a CVS. And did I go to this place? No, I have not. It was Minneapolis Market. Here we go. Like after I was done getting like Chinese, when I was dealing with my Social Security stuff, I would come here. And this place is more of they don't sell real groceries, what we would call real groceries. They sell more snacks. A lot of the mom and pop grocery stores in South Minneapolis do not sell like healthy foods. They sell like stuff that doesn't expire quickly. So that's why Target on Nicollet Mall is so popular. And when I first lived in downtown Minneapolis, I used to hang out in South Minneapolis. I used to feel weird having prison bars on everything. Everything. It just felt like weird because I'm a kid that grew up in a trailer park in the middle of a cornfield where the only people that are gonna hurt you are your neighbors. So when something happens, you definitely know it's one of your neighbors' fault. So the reason why this neighborhood I found interesting is because a lot of Native Americans live in this area, and I just found the Native Americans interesting. I just did, and see how here's a bunch of single family homes, and I didn't. I'm gonna say I don't mind hanging around Native Americans, because how I feel is if someone's nice to me, I'm gonna be nice to them. So that was just my perspective, but everyone kind of has a different perspective than me, And see how down here there's like little restaurants and stuff. And the further this way you go, it becomes more Native American. Let me see. Okay, I have not been there yet. I'm also using this video to make an excuse to look. There's a Chase Bank, and you always need a Chase Bank. I'm teasing you. I don't need a Chase Bank, but and then this place right here, Dollar City Plus Inc. Originally, he had a sign that said dollar plus 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 plus. and I was I was just laughing. I just found it funny. Dollar plus 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 plus. and that's what pulled me into that store. And I went in there. They sell deodorants, shampoo, house stuff. And I used to like walk down here a lot. And then if I wanted to go to Aldi's, this is the Aldi's I would go to because it was the closest one to my house. But I wouldn't go over here at night unless you know the neighborhood, because I kind of knew it. I kind of knew where to go and not to go at night. But but if you don't know a neighborhood in Minneapolis, just don't go there at night. That's my advice. Because there's a reason why, guys, there's prison bars on this stuff. Like, a neighborhood wouldn't have prison bars if things didn't happen at night. And then I got coffee here once. The coffee here was not as strong as I'm going to say like Starbucks was, but it was still good coffee. I didn't hate it. Like, if you said, hey, Justin, let's go get some Native American coffee, I would. I wouldn't say no because it wasn't bad coffee. I just, it's just not my preference. And then in here, there's like a bunch of Native American clinics and all that stuff. I spent a lot of time on this strip mall. And then last time I came here, they were building this into like a Native American embassy. So like a bunch of Native American tribes, they can go there and they can like have a representative in the city of Minneapolis. And I thought that was kind of cool. And then over here you have a bunch of like community centers and healthcare centers for the Native American community, and And then this apartment building here was going to be for the Native American community. I don't know if they're done with it yet because I haven't come this way in a long time. And I have a few more things to show you. Yes, I have seen all this before too, but I normally never shopped in this area. That much. The only time I really came down this way was for the Midtown Global Market. Like when I walked in this area, the furthest I ever really walked was Midtown Global Market, because Midtown Global Market has so much unique food and so much things to do on Lake Street that once you get here, you can get kind of everything you need. In the one place I would also bus to, it's called Tom's. Yeah, I did go to Tom's Botch Bar a lot. Tom's Popcorn Shop. So I would take I never walked this far. I normally just took the bus down here, and it's along the D bus, and you definitely know when like you're there when you see the graveyard, because the D bus goes past right here. When you see the graveyard, you know you're there, because the D bus, this graveyard is the only one on the whole route. So then you know that you're there. And then I would just walk to Tom's Popcorn, and my ex-friend Madeline got me addicted to this place. So when I came down here, this is like the only really place I came, because I never really needed to go this far unless I was coming for Tom's. And because they sell good popcorn, good ice cream, and all that stuff. And like when I used to hang out down here, this coffee shop didn't exist. This dental care didn't exist. This did not exist. This was last time I'd been down there. This all these businesses didn't exist. This apartment wasn't here. This apartment here was just an empty parking lot. This building here was empty. In this building here where this Lunds and Barley's is now, this was also empty. When I last time I came down here, all this was kind of abandoned and needed to be saved. And it looks like it's good that property developers, since the year I have been down there, has improved the area. And then so I would, then I would, the one last place I spent a lot of time was over here by the Lake Street Cub Foods. I would sometimes I love Cub Foods, and Cub Foods has my favorite blueberry yogurt. So I used to take the train from downtown Minneapolis to go to Cub's to get my blueberry yogurt, because none of the mom and pop grocery stores that I try to hit up in South Minneapolis, or Whole Foods, Lunds and Barley's, Trader Joe's, they didn't have my You'll Play blueberry yogurt. Like, You'll Play is my favorite blueberry yogurt brand, and none of them had it. So I would literally take the train from downtown Minneapolis to the Cub Foods on Lake Street, buy my blueberry yogurt, and come back. I'm addicted, you guys, to blueberry yogurt. I am. I have a problem when it comes to blueberry yogurt. And now these days, now that I live in Columbia Heights now, and I'd be lucky I have my own Cubs. That's even closer. I have Family Dollar. I have so many places. I don't even crave, like, I have to go a 15-minute south just to get to a Cubs to find my blueberry yogurt. Like, Cubs now is my Fridley Cubs, about a 15-minute ride north, but at least, so it's still kind of the same distance of me going to South Minneapolis when I lived in downtown. But at least now when I go up to Cubs, there's a Home Depot next to it. There is like a huge Chinese buffet. There's the Duluth Trading Company. So normally when I go get my blueberry yogurt, I'm normally doing multiple shopping, and I'm not just going for blueberry yogurt anymore. And then this is where my low vision specialist is. So sometimes I still do have to come down here. There's the state. This is where I get off on the 6 bus or the train. It depends on how I decide to get there. This is the University of Minnesota. This is St. Anthony. This is Northeast. And then Columbia Heights is just right up here. Well, I hope you guys like my video, and thank you for listening to my story, and I hope you have a good day.